This book is called Teensy Weensy Animals, and the author is Joan Emerson. This is a nonfiction book. Animals come in all shapes and sizes. Some are big, some are small, some are short, and some are tall. This book will introduce you to some of the smallest creatures from the air, land, and sea. If you look carefully, you'll find that teensy weensy animals are all around. Dwarf sloth. Would you believe that as a baby, the dwarf sloth is shorter than an adult human's finger? Even when it is full grown, it will still be small enough to fit in the palm of your hand. Yet the dwarf sloth is special for more than just its small size. For one thing, its fur is slightly green. Also, this little guy can turn his head all the way around. Sumatran rhino. Usually the rhinoceros is not considered a small animal. An adult African rhino weighs more than a pickup truck, but the Sumatran rhino is 6 times smaller than its giant rhino relative. The littlest member of the rhino species lives in the rainforests of Southeast Asia and has existed for over 1 million years. But today there are fewer than 300 left in the whole world. Fairy penguin. This tiny penguin is the smallest of all 17 penguin species. It is just slightly larger than a carton of eggs. Usually, a penguin's feathers are black and white, but the fairy penguin has spots of blue, too. While many penguins live in the snow and ice of Antarctica, the fairy penguin makes its home in Australia and New Zealand. Dwarf gecko. The dwarf gecko, found on the Caribbean island of Belize in the Dominican Republic, is the smallest known lizard in the world. It is less than an inch long. That's the size of a penny. Like bigger geckos, the dwarf gecko has transparent eyelids. To keep them clean, they lick their eyelids with their tongues. Silky anteater. The silky anteater lives in the tropical rainforests of Mexico and South America. This tiny animal is the smallest of all anteater species. It is no longer than a pencil. The silky anteater travels through trees by using its tail to swing from branch to branch. And of course, like other anteaters, it eats mostly ants. It can devour up to 8,000 ants in just one night. Wolfie octopus. The wolfie octopus lives in the Indian and Pacific Oceans and is the smallest of all 300 species of octopus. The world's largest octopus is as long as a school bus, but the wolfie is only the size of a paperclip. It may be the world's smallest octopus, but the wolfie still has 8 arms, just like all other octopuses. Etruscan shrew. The Etruscan shrew is no longer than a child's pinky finger, and it isn't only the smallest kind of shrew. It actually weighs less than any other land mammal on the planet. Yet this small animal can still eat a lot. The Etruscan shrew eats up to twice its body weight each day. That's a lot of worms. World's smallest dog. As a baby, Millie the Chihuahua could fit in a teaspoon. Her owner wanted to make sure she was healthy and safe, so Millie drank from an eyedropper and slept inside a doll's crib. With her owner's help, Miracle Millie grew bigger and stronger. Yet she still only weighs 1 pound. In 2013, this earned her the title of world's smallest dog. Munchkin cat. The Munchkin cat looks like any other cat, with one big difference. It's very short legs. A Munchkin cat's body stands only about 6 inches off the ground. Its legs may be short, but its personality is big. That's why so many people around the world like to keep this friendly and playful cat as a pet. Pygmy goat. Pygmy goats first came from West Africa. In the 1950s, they were brought to zoos in the United States. Now a lot of people keep pygmy goats as pets. They are around 20 to 25 inches tall and about 50 pounds. That's about as small as a medium-sized dog. Royal antelope. At home in the African rainforest, the royal antelope gets a crown for being the smallest species of antelope. Most antelopes are about the size of a small horse, but the royal antelope is only the size of a small lapdog. Dog. Could you imagine cuddling with one on your couch? Pedrophine ammonitsis frog. There are plenty of small frogs in the world, but the Pedrophine ammonitsis frog is the smallest. It is small enough to fit in the center of a dime. For a long time, no one knew this little frog existed. In 2012, scientists discovered it in the rainforest of Papua New Guinea. The Pedrovine ammonitsis isn't just the smallest frog, it's also the smallest vertebrate on Earth. That's a hard name to say. Pygmy elephant. Mouse, hamster, bunny, elephant? Elephants aren't usually thought of as small animals, but the pygmy elephant is much smaller than the elephants you see at the zoo. Found in the jungles of Borneo, the pygmy elephant has large ears, straight tusks, and a long tail that sometimes drags on the ground when it walks. Roborovsky hamster. Dwarf hamsters are half the size of regular hamsters. And all of these little dwarf hamsters, the Roborovsky hamster is the smallest. It is shorter than a crayon and can fit in the palm of your hand. Sometimes called the robo hamster, it was first discovered in Russia, China, and Kazakhstan. Today, kids all over the world keep them as pets. And that's the end. We have a glossary at the end. Remember, a glossary gives you important words and it tells you what those words mean. It's kind of like a mini dictionary. All right, there you go. Teensy weensy animals.